Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet, and welcome back to another Daily Masters cast. Now, this one is taken actually from the Hairy Bash, which ran yesterday. So, a bunch of Aussie players, South Asian players, all that sort of stuff, getting into it, doing some awesome stuff. So, yeah, let's start off by introducing the players. Now, these are not your average Grandmaster, Master of Grandmaster sort of players, but it is called Daily Masters, and that means that any play involving Masters players is worthy of getting in there. So by all means, if you are a Masters level player, or you've played against a really good Masters level player, and you have some replays of that, feel free to send them in. They will definitely get into the Daily Masters. So anyway, let's move on. And of course, if you got replays below the level of Daily Masters, then send them in as well. I do fan submitted replays as well as a separate thing. So yeah, let's go for it. Now we can start talking about these players. It's not really, I don't really have stats for them, unfortunately, because I don't think they're on Wikipedia, but TheECONOMIST is a really cool guy, which I've actually talked with a few times, and he watches my videos on YouTube, which makes him very, very cool. So he's going to be playing Terran down the bottom right side of the map. His opponent is Mr. ObiWanKenobi, who was also, well, obviously was in the Hairy Bash tournament. I don't know too much else about him. He seems to be playing for the NARX team, which seems to be pretty sweet. Lots of black, which is always a nice thing. And yeah, these two guys are going to be going at it. TvT, not something we see too often. And in fact, in the Hairy Bash, the vast majority of players are either Zerg or Protoss, so you don't see too many Terrans in there. So I think this is a round of 16 game, something like that. The full tournament will be cast on my channel from the round of 8 upwards, the quarterfinals upwards. I'm just organising to get the replays from all of the players. I've got most of them so far, but still got to get a few more. And once I have those, then I will be casting the full thing through, as well as Daily Masters, obviously. So it's going to be awesome. So yeah, just checking out the players at the moment. Looks like we've got a second command center coming down fairly quickly-ish for The Economist, and also Factory. So probably going to be some sort of Hellion harass going on there. Mr. Obi-Wan choosing not to go for an early command center, going for a starport instead, going for a fast medevac. Building some Hellions. Is this going to be a Hellbat drop of some kind? I'm really not sure. He's putting a couple of Hellions out there. I don't know why. Maybe watching for Reapers, but yeah, there we go. So he's building a fast medevac. Looks like a Marine drop. Early Marine drop, maybe. We'll see what he's going to do. He could definitely do something like whacking in Widow Mines, stuff like that. Hellion's going out for a bit of a scout, and there we go, lifting up all of that stuff and sending it on in. So he's going to try and do a dual-pronged attack right here. The Economist building a bunker. I should mention, The Economist is in Masters League. ObiWanKenobi is in Platinum League, as far as I understand it. So here we go. The first Hellions coming in. They're going to be roasting this worker, I would assume. There we go. The worker is going to be running for it, and the bunker is not going to be finished. In fact, it does get cancelled. So here we go. 3 Hellions. This is fully tucked up, though, and what, he's got 3 Marines over there actually, but he's facing off against 6 Marines with medevac support. So the tank is going to help actually. He's got a fast tank. He's got the bunker coming down. It's a nice bunker, but it's not going to cover this area down here. The Marines could go around. Actually lifting the Hellions up into the top side. That's a very, very nice tactic. But still, this tank, he's got to take this tank out very nice. And look at the range on this tank. It is beautiful. There we go. They're going to come up here. He's moving his workers away. Boom! The Hellions come in and get hit by the tank. So suddenly, the entire dynamic of this fight has changed. And the Hellion's going to try and do as much damage. Actually getting in close to the workers. Splash damage from the tank does take out a couple of workers. He's only lost 2 so far, but a few more going down. And the Marines trying to stay out of range of the tank. And at the same time, hit some Marines. I think they got a couple more. 6 being lost. And that's quite a bit. So yeah, pretty decent job, but all he needs to do is get another tank, move it in a bit closer, and this is going to be completely screwed because there he goes. I think he's going to move this tank in a little bit closer. Beautiful positioning, and the refinery is probably going to go down, but the Marines have got no chance anymore of getting in there. They could perhaps move around the other side, but we do have this second tank. This tank has beautiful range, even better than it did before. So these guys are going to run in and, oh, instantly getting owned. And the missile turret, I'm not sure where he put that up, but that's doing a fantastic job as well. So this base, very much in a great position. He's got his second base already, and Obi-Wan has got his second base as well. So both players doing a pretty good job. The Economist did lose a bunch of workers there. I believe it was something like 7. 7 workers going down, not good at all. He has had this base for a bit longer, but I think that 7 worker loss has really screwed him over. He's only 3 behind, but he would have been quite a bit in front by now if he hadn't lost all those workers. Still a very, very great defense from him. The tanks just providing the perfect, absolutely perfect way of doing stuff. He's actually building a command center out here. God knows why he's doing that. It doesn't seem like I wouldn't say it's not a smart move, but I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's, yeah. I mean, if 20 minutes into the game, if this hasn't been taken, like 20, 30 minutes, if that hasn't been taken, so sneaky stealing of minerals, that's fine, but it's not really, oh, the tank's not in position to really knock these guys away. They do get a few hits on command center, which isn't really going to help them, and that Marine just got blown away quite literally, and the medevac going down. And the Economist is actually going to have a little bit of trouble pushing out to this base. Looks like his command center is going out somewhere else. Landing over here. Why? I don't know what the deal is right now, because this thing, I mean, it's going to be a miracle if this isn't spotted by something. The Vikings, oh, they're so close. So close they can see the mule coming down on the minerals. Man, oh man, oh man. I hope this guy is paying attention right here. There was a mule right on that mineral patch. No, it doesn't look like he is paying attention. He narrowly... What's he doing here? He's got a patrol route set out that's actually going to go close enough to see those workers. So, is it? No, they're turning around early. Apparently they're not going all the way to that point. They just turn around early. So, I think he's finally realized. Has he finally realized? Oh man, this is fairly painful. Fairly painful watching, because we're watching this and we can see them beautifully, but ObiWanKenobi obviously not seeing them, so it's been unfortunate. He's, it's funny, you know, you think the Obi-Wan would be able to have a bit more of a sense of things, to be able to see past the murkiness and use his powers. Oh, yeah, whatever. You know where I'm going with this, but I'm not doing a very good job. Regardless, he's not seeing that base coming up, and he's so close to seeing it, but look at the mules on this thing. He's really stealing a ton of minerals there. I still don't know if this is worth it. I'm sure he's grabbed at least 400 minerals there, but this is basically, it's only good while it's secret, and I can't see how it's going to stay secret for too long. Although given that Obi-Wan has still not scouted this despite numerous cases where the mules have actually been in his vision path. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you think it should be spotted, really, but it isn't. So, there we go. This guy, Marine's running around, he's checking bases, but he's not checking the base he needs to be checking. Finally got a base out here, another command center going down, so the Economist loves building his command centers, loves building his thingamabobs as well. He's going for a large amount of mech, and yeah, it's pretty good stuff. So he's got tanks, he's getting out the Widow Mines. No real Hellbat production yet, which is interesting because ObiWanKenobi is getting a ton of Marines, and you really need a buffer zone. When you've got a ton of tanks and you're going against Marines, you need a buffer zone, and your buffer zone is either more Marines or Hellbats. And he doesn't have any Hellbats, so his buffer zone is pretty much non-existent. The Marines are going to come in here and just cause havoc, absolute havoc. Has he finally figured out that this base is there? I think he's finally figured out that the base is there, and he's going to be taken out. Look at all the dropships coming in. That's just overkill. But apparently he wants to kill all the workers. So, Economist, is he going to get anything out of there? No, doesn't look like it. And everything's going to go down. So, he got some stuff. I don't know whether it was worth it. But look, he spent like 500 minerals on these things, and he spent a bit on the workers, a bit, like, so he spent like 800 minerals or something like that. I think he probably got 800 minerals worth out of this place. So yeah, maybe it was worth it. Maybe it was. It's pretty good. He could have made that a planetary, actually, and then he would have killed a lot of Marines as well before he finally went down. He could have actually repaired it and, yeah, made it into a planetary. Maybe even have held off all of those Marines. I don't know for sure, but he could have done a damn good job, and that would have been hilarious. Oh, it's maybe the wrong time for the Economist to be moving out. Got to get those Widow Mines down. Getting the Widow Mines down, we've got a scan coming down from Mr. Obi-Wan, and all the Widow Mines get taken out. And here we go. This is when Obi-Wan starts to get in there and really do a lot of damage. And, I mean, the Economist has a great position right here, but with the tanks just stim and run in, I don't know if these tanks can hold on because, yeah, it's just too many Marines. I mean, the Marines are going to take a lot of damage from these tanks. But here we go, another tank coming up here. I thought we had another tank here. They're taking so much damage. Oh, there we go. There's a tank up there. So that's doing a lot of damage right there. And this tank, man. Obi-Wan, take care of that tank. The Marines are taking a beating right now. An absolute beating. So the Marines really have to be on the ball, taking out the tanks ASAP. If they just ignore the tanks, they take a ton of damage. And here we go. The Hellbats starting to go out, using the mineral trick to get them by. And the Hellbat's going to be cleaning this up. So finally we've got some Hellbats coming out. And that is exactly what the Economist needs to do. Let's say a little bit too late because he did lose a couple of bases there. Should have had Hellbats out a little bit earlier, but he is rectifying that mistake right now. And hopefully we'll see a very healthy concentration of Hellbats in addition to the tanks and the Widow Mines. Although the Widow Mines didn't do all that much in that game. They got scanned very, very early on, the large group over here, and got destroyed before I think they got a single shot off. So that delay on a Widow Mine shooting really just, it's a killer if somebody scans you. If they scan you and then they run in attack move, your Widow Mines will not get a single shot off because of that delay. So they really rely on being cloaked to actually get their shot off. So here we go. Good stuff, and Obi-Wan is moving out once again. We've got another base being built. We've got this being turned into a planetary. What we do not have is a bunch of Hellbats being built. So here we go. If you have a look, we got 5 Hellbats, 48 Marines coming out from Obi-Wan. He's got 3 tanks as well. So we really need to see a large amount of Hellbats being built because, I mean, Obi-Wan's not going to make the same mistake. He is going to wipe out tanks ASAP. Look at these guys trying to take the 3rd base again. Not going to happen. Ton of Marines coming in, and this is just going to get wiped out. We've got a couple of tanks as well. Going to be CG up. It's going to be tank versus tank, and these Marines need to be taken out. There's 5 Hellbats, which are doing a great job. These Marines stop attacking the refinery. You've got to get in there. You've got to take out the tanks. Both the tanks are down. The Hellbats providing great cover. There's no point providing great cover if you've got nothing shooting at them. There we go. They're coming on in, trying to get around, attacking pretty much everything but the tanks. There we go. The tanks finally getting hit, but still, this tank barrage is just so big. The Obi-Wan, he's got a great army. He's producing a great army, but he needs to get in close and he needs to take out the tanks. The tanks need to be #1 priority. If you see anything else, if you see a worker, if you see a command center, if you see a golden unicorn which drops 1 million minerals, you've just got to ignore them all and go for the tanks, because if you do not go for the tanks, over time you will take so much damage that you will lose. And is Economist still trying to secure this 3rd base? My god. Why? I've just got to ask why, because, I mean, this is just crazy right here. He's building 2 more command centers. He obviously wants to be on 4 bases, regardless of how many workers he actually has, which is 40, so, I mean, 4 bases? No. I mean, I would just go for this one. I mean, defending this one is going to be 10 times as hard. And here we go, the Marine coming in, it gets blown up. Oh man, and here we go, the army, and you know which direction the army is going to come in. It's going to come in over there, so Obi-Wan, is it going to come in over there? There we go, it's going to come around. He's blocked by these rocks, so that's why he didn't go that way, but he should have gone the long way, baby, but he's going to come in here. We do have a sensor tower over there, which is going to spot them coming around. And he's actually going to go up this ramp. He might get past the sensor tower completely if he plays his cards right. No, he's going to go in there, he's going to scan. Oh, the Widow Mine's on the high ground. Boom, one of the tanks goes down, and that's not going to be fun. So the Economist knows that there are stuff there. He knows there's an army up there. Is he going to guess which direction it's going in? No. Oh, this tank, man. Why is that tank just out by itself? Economist just dimming in, and there he goes. Straight for the tanks. Beautiful stuff there, but the Widow Mine's doing so much damage. So in actual fact, maybe it's Widow Mines first and then tanks, because those Widow Mines do so much damage. But yeah, a lot of stuff got lost there. And now the tanks over here just going to be pushing him back. And here we go, sieging up the tanks. But no, that tank is not going to have a very good day. And these guys just not enough. Not enough right there. They're going to run back past the Widowmine army. Oh, not going to get hit by it though. They're hiding in the corner. Not a bad idea, I guess. Waiting for reinforcements. There we go. Waiting for reinforcements. Oh, so close. So close. Oh, just in range. Come on, scan that and take them out. There we go. Beautiful. The Widowmine's going down and get up a couple more hits though, which is very nice. And where are they going to go? He knows there's a 4th base down there. He could hit that. There's not that many tanks that can actually cover the 4th base. So I feel like going for the 4th base is going to be a very, very easy target. But for now, he's still moping around this area. I don't know why. I don't know why he hasn't gone for this 4th base. Maybe he's scared of the planetary or something. But yeah, no, he's just backing off. He's backing off around here. We got a couple of tanks of Widowmine, so Economist really spreading out his tanks very nicely. He's not really protecting them too much. He's just using the fact that he's got so many tanks all over the place and that they just do so much damage. So by the time he loses all his tanks, he's effectively defeated ObiWanKenobi's army. And I'm not sure if, because I really feel like still putting out the Hellbats as filler, and when you anticipate when they're about to go for the tanks, you interpose your Hellbats between them. The Hellbats soak up all the damage, and the Hellbats are so cheap, like 100 minerals each, and then the tank survives. So if the army goes across, goes for these tanks, you send the Hellbats up around here and in there, and then the Hellbats take all the damage. They don't last very long, but they buy the tanks time to kill everything. And they buy the Widowmine's time as well to actually get their shots off. So, yeah, because right now the Economist is just plunking through tons of gas right now. Absolute ton of gas to build all those tanks. He's building a ton of Vikings as well. And I think they've had some success getting those medevacs. But for now, yeah, I mean, he's doing alright. But, I mean, both players, I mean, Obi-Wan, I really don't know why he has not gone for that 4th base as of yet. And he knows it's there. He knows it's there. So why he hasn't gone for it yet, I've got no idea. Here he goes. Nice scan. Sees all those Widow mines. He's going to have to do another scan to actually get rid of them though. The Marauders coming in. And oh, the scan finished exactly the wrong time. Oh, leading them in. Leading them in. He's still got the scan going. Come on, attack the Widow mines. The scan's going to run out again. The scan runs out again. 3rd scan. Please tell me he's actually going to kill the Widowmines. No, the tanks are attacking him right now, so he's not as decisive as he could have been as far as destroying those Widowmines. He just had to run in and just take them out, and the 2nd tank does actually survive. Vikings getting some nice pot shots off on the medevacs. More reinforcements coming out. Obi-Wan doing a great job of getting his macro up, but as far as decisive engagements go, he's in Platinum League. There we go. There we go. I mean, I'm judging him on Masters League, but he's doing alright. His macro is pretty phenomenal. And here we go. He's going to try and take this out. The tanks still do a pretty good job at getting a little bit out. Too far. He needs to try and lead them in. But here we go. Moving out his tanks, and they are getting hit by the Marauders. Widow mines, are they close enough? There we go. The Marauders finally taken out. Lost so many tanks, though, and Obi-Wan, he's not losing a ton of units. He's just basically trading Marauders for tanks at the moment, which is not too bad. It's not too bad. So here we go. More Widow mines coming out. Scan goes down, takes all the Widow mines out. A bunch of Marines go down, but that's fine. And this base, really, what did I say 10 minutes ago? Your priority is not the orbital commands. It's not anything else. You take out the tanks. There's a tank right up there. You scan and you take it out. You snipe it out. And once all the tanks are dead, then you go and you wipe everything else. But he was attacking that command center while there was a tank alive. Not the best decision, and eventually that tank just blasted everything. Oh, there's another tank somewhere, I can't remember where, but yeah, here we go, another tank coming up. Look at this massive army, look at all these tanks. If he just focused on the tanks first before everything else, I think Obi-Wan could really just absolutely annihilate it here, but he's playing around too much. He's hitting the command centers. Is he going for the 4th base? This is great. This is exactly what he needs to do, because look at this, Economist has really got a huge economy right here. Very, very nice. See it, leaving his tanks behind and actually hitting some Widow mines on the high ground. So very nice. And here we go. Just get in there and destroy everything. Don't worry about losing the tanks. You're going to destroy a massive amount of economy right there. The workers don't even get time to repair the planetary. It all goes down. And the Economist, because he's got so many tanks and so little of everything else, he's not in a good position to actually move out and take advantage. If he had a bunch of Hellbats, he could run out there, he could drop on top of these guys, he could take advantage of the fact that the tanks are out by themselves, but He's starting to get some Hellbats, but maybe he could have done that, but it took a little bit too long. And now the Marine Army coming back. You're going to take out the tanks. There we go. The tanks go down. And there's tanks on the high ground. He needs to get in there. Nice and close. He needs to snipe the tanks. There we go. Taking out some of them. Needs to take out this one. Needs to take out this one. Good stuff. Good stuff. And there's one more tank. And these ones, he just needs to roll in there and destroy everything. He's got the units. They're looking a little bit slipshod at the moment, so maybe a bit of healing would not be a bad idea. But he's got the army advantage right now, and he's really just knocked back Economist's economy in a major way. He's now 16 ahead. So he just needs to make sure that he gets his massive army out there and just rolls on in. I mean, obviously scanning first, taking out the Widow Mines. Excellent idea, but all he needs to do is roll on in and he should be fine. So there we go. Look at this. So back in here, getting another base really, really fast up. So the Economist getting a great economy going, as always. And here we go. Sending in. That's nice. Get a little bit of a secret in there. Figure out where the tanks are. He's going to try and get in there, but there's too many Widow Mines. I don't think that's going to work. And yeah, this tank manages to survive. So yeah, it definitely sets up a nice tank line. I'll give him that. Here he goes, though. He's dropping on the high ground. This is beautiful right here. Beautiful. The Widow Mine actually takes out the tank. And we got a scan going on down here. Not yet, but here we go. The Vikings taking out the medevac. 3 Marauders going to be running rampant, forcing the Starport to lift off. And the tank's up there. He needs to take out these tanks. That's a great idea. Moving the tanks in. And not really getting a lot done, though. Here, I guess he needs to sort of field up his Marine and Marauder army. And there we go. There's the full army. So now he can go in. He can just stim in. Scan, stim in, attack, move, take out all the Widow Mines, take out the tank. And just keep the pressure on, because he's basically sitting back way too often, I feel like. He just gets hit a couple by the... As soon as he takes a fair bit of damage, he backs off. And I think he just needs to push through that and just destroy all the tanks he possibly can. Because that's the only way he's going to do anything. He may be able to drop on top of the tanks, but there's so many Widow Mines that the damage to those medevacs from the drop would be quite sensational. So here we go. Going to be moving in, just stim and run. Stim and run. Here we go. He's going to be thinking about moving in, taking out the tanks. Doing a pretty good job. Just able to range that one. There we go. Moving in as well. The Hellbats getting nice and close. That's it. Pull back. Let the tanks take care of the Hellbats. And the Hellbats did take quite a bit of damage, but the Economist has got a very decent Hellbat army. And exactly what he needed to do, he did right then. He pushed his Hellbats in, interpose them between the engaging army and the tanks. So it's a great job. And the Vikings up here doing a sensational job of keeping the drops down, because dropping on this high ground is a sensationally good idea, but the Vikings are shutting that down time and again. So right now the Economist is starting to develop a very good plan for defending with these guys, defending with these tanks. And look at this, Obi-Wan pulling back. There he goes. He's coming in from the high side, stimming in, running in, but the tank's doing so much damage, and the Hellbat's doing a great job of scaring everything away. And it's starting to turn around here. I mean, Economist getting those Hellbats out. He's getting a nice position on these guys. He's stopping everything else from happening, and he's starting to pull back into the lead. He's starting to get into a position where he can be really, really aggressive. And Obi-Wan is, I mean, he's had some chances. He hasn't done the best job of taking them. And now he might end up being on the defensive. And we will see how he does with being on the defensive. So yeah, let's have a look at the upgrades actually, because I looked at those for a while. So we've got 3-3 for Obi-Wan, and he's got 2 vehicle weapons as well. The Economist has got 2-2 on his, so he's pure mech, absolutely pure mech, and Obi-Wan is basically triple M plus some tank support. And here we go, he's actually building 3 armor, almost got 3 weapons, so that is going to be devastating. And now the Economist, I mean, the only thing he could really be doing better at this point is going for Hellbat drops. Getting a bunch of medevacs, pumping the Hellbats up in the medevacs, using the medevacs to get the Hellbats out to the position they need to be in a lot quicker. And here we go. This is a bit of hesitancy from Obi-Wan. As soon as he sees those tanks, he doesn't need to pull back and, you know, pull back and check things out and rearrange himself. He needs to go straight in. He needs to just do this as fast as he possibly can. And he's going for a great target. He's going for this 4th base, whatever it is, taking it out. And now he's moving back up here, hoping to maybe take out this army in the middle. Maybe he can do it. He needs to focus on these Hellbats. The Hellbats are starting to go down. Where are the Marauders? He really needs a lot more Marauders. There we go. The Hellbats going down. These guys are going to be taken out. Nice scan. And this is a great attack from Obi-Wan, even getting some stuff up the top side, really taking advantage of the fact that Economist was so far out of position. And the Economist, his macro is absolutely phenomenal right now. Well, not phenomenal anymore because he did lose that 4th base, so he's only mining off 1.5 bases right now. But here we go, the stuff going to be taken out. Boom, very, very nice. But Obi-Wan actually losing quite a lot of workers there in that attack, so he's down 33 under 63. You've got so many command centers though, he can build 6 at a time, so that is very, very impressive. Here he goes, moving straight back out again. Going to make this into a planetary, no doubt. And Obi-Wan, man, he can just roll back in there and just take it out again. I mean, he's just facing a lot of opposition. 15 tanks, 9 Hellbats, that's a lot of forces. And as long as the Economist, he's in a bad position here. He could get flanked quite badly. The tanks are not in a good position, but they're getting in a good position. They're sieging up in the low ground. There we go. Obi-Wan sending some forces out to take care of them. Very nice. Couple more tanks up there. Obi-Wan taking a fair amount of damage, but he's focusing on the tanks. He's taking them out nice and fast. He's doing a great job. The fact that he's got so many Marauders does mean the Vikings can really have their way with the medevacs, but overall, I think he's doing a sensational job. And you maybe a little bit more Marines wouldn't be too bad of an idea. But the Marauders are so important against this mech army, so I cannot blame him for continuing to build so many Marauders. Here we go, continuing to chase these guys. They are getting dealt with, and now down to 4 as they get off the edge of the map, so that's pretty good stuff there. Bunch more tanks coming out for the Economist, but I don't know, man. Obi-Wan has been coming back in this game, doing a sensational job, and his medevacs have been chewed up quite badly. He needs a lot of medevacs. Maybe he should build in 4 at a time, maybe? I don't know. But he needs a lot. He needs a lot of them, and he really needs to be doing I mean, if he was like super Grandmaster top level, I'm guessing he would be using his Marines to focus on the Vikings and the tanks to be focusing on everything else. But that's incredibly hard macro to pull off, so I'm not gonna hold that against him. Here he goes, tanks sieging on the high ground, taking out this base. It's not even a planetary yet. Oh, this is a beautiful position, but it's gonna be a planetary right there just in time. Great job there, and this base is gonna go down. So meanwhile, we've got a nice bit of Hellbats going on here, taking out this base, and a bunch of tanks down there. So both players really going nuts. This base, I don't know where it's going, but it's flying around somewhere. And here we go, the tank's going to go down, more army coming in there. And both players doing a pretty good job of taking out their bases. These guys finally going to go down. Is he going to be able to repair this? He's got to get a mule or something down there, ASAP. Oh, left the Widow Mines down, so that's not good. But hopefully he doesn't forget about this base, because it is currently burning down. Here we go, a bunch more tanks. This Economist has made a really nice use of this little space and this little space, putting a ton of tanks. Add Widow Mines there. Oh, the medevacs getting blown out of the sky by the Widow Mines. Ouch, just ouch. At least he's saving this base, but still, just ouch. And both players, I mean, the Economist, his economy is really, really good at the moment. He's got 30 more. He's been building out a ton of units. And ObiWanKenobi, for all the great stuff he's been doing on the map, he's never really pumped out the sheer amount of workers that he needed to do to get back into this game. He's really surviving on mules at the moment, which is okay, but he's not getting the gas income that he really needs. And yeah, I mean, he's not spending as much gas, but still medevacs, you need medevacs, and he's obviously not able to build as much of them. Look at the stupid amount of Widow Mines here. That is just stupid. Obi-Wan has no chance of killing all those guys. And here we go, the base finally getting pushed away. I don't know if he's going to be able to save this off. And Obi-Wan's starting to look in a bit of a pickle, I guess. Why? Alright, he needs medevacs right here. He needs to build medevacs. I don't care if they're getting destroyed at an exponential rate. You need medevacs because your army is starting to look like it's going to die in 2 seconds flat. You cannot run into a tank line with this low health and expect anything. Look at how close. Look at these guys. They just got absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. A fully healed army would have wrecked that entire play from Economist, but these guys were so low, and it's just... I am flabbergasted that he was not building medevacs. I mean, at least build the medevacs, keep them at home, and heal up the army. But sending an army out with that low health is pretty much a suicide mission, and that's exactly what we saw there. All of these guys pretty much died. He eventually killed everything, but Look at the army supply right here. We lost a phenomenal amount of units just to kill that small force right there. And not worth it at all. Not worth it. Here we go. The Widow Mine army coming out. Going to be burrowing up here. We're going to get a scan up the top side. Are we going to get a scan up the top side? We got the Vikings, and there we go, the tanks. Oh, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. And Obi-Wan's going to be scanning this, but it's not going to help. And there we go. The Economist has taken the game out. Crazy long game. Ton of mech in there, but in the end, it was kind of a seesaw, actually. I could have sworn Obi-Wan was in the lead for a lot of it. He had some great opportunities to do some stuff, but in the end, couldn't quite push it in. Couldn't quite. The thing is, I've seen this with other games as well, even in the high-level Masters, but you need to be willing to put your Triple M army. You need to be willing to really go in and take a massive amount of damage with your Triple M army. Against tanks, you need to be willing to do that. You can't just go in, hit some stuff, and then pull out when you're at half health. You need to be willing to go all the way to destroy those things. The primary rule of Marines versus tanks is you sacrifice the Marines to kill the tanks. Not that you go in there, you hit whatever you can, and then you pull out when your Marines are at half health, because at that point, no, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So you've got to go in all the way, you've got to kill everything. And we didn't really see Obi-Wan doing that at the start of the game, the first 10-15 minutes, when he had those opportunities to really do some damage, when the Economist didn't have the Hellbat defense to protect his tanks. We didn't see Obi-Wan taking those opportunities. And he was more interested in keeping his army alive than destroying the tanks, and that was really what let him down, because I think he could have won this game early on if he had really pushed in and done that. But yeah, eventually he just didn't do it, and eventually the Economist just sort of grew into his proper unit composition, getting the Hellbats out, and really pushing out there, doing a ton of damage, and eventually it just turned into a complete scrap. Base has been destroyed everywhere, but Economist came out with the victory, so really, really great job. And I think the Viking play, destroying the medevacs, was really a critical part of this game. Obi-Wan never really tried to get out his own Viking force to protect his medevacs, and the Marines were dodgy at best at killing them. And at the end, I mean, Obi-Wan just had a massive army with no health. Like, his units basically were really, really low on health, and he just couldn't heal them because he wasn't building any more medevacs. So there we go. His army just got destroyed, and that was it. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this game. This has been Hairy Muppet, and I hope you enjoyed this game.